Day, ladies of Israel. As you know, we have a demon in our midst who is attempting to derail my noble cause of being a champion of women. I thought we had an unwritten but concluded understanding that every time you hit that green button, you must be the bigger person. Yes, you must look past my antics and be the adult in the room so you can get the information in between my hijinks. Heck, the name of the channel is Mr. Misogyny, for Pete's sake. Come on, people! Saying that, and if you hereby solemnly acknowledge our agreement, today's video is a repost without my tomfoolery. Hopefully, it will be enough to soothe the savage spirit of a fence beast amongst us. Let's begin, shall we? In today's video comes a dire warning, a warning that proves the scriptures to be true. In this case to mean, there is nothing new under the sun. You know, what was, will be, or something like that. And this is a warning to tell you I can see the serpent head on the horizon, and she is about to swallow her tail to complete her vicious cycle of destruction, with you caught in the middle. Let me explain. Remember the video where each and every woman, from Walla Walla, Washington, all the way to the shores of Gitche Gumi, all at one time, sucked their teeth at me? You remember the video when I proved through the words of Alice Walker herself, you know, the womanist movement founder, that Miss Sweet Polly Purebred used the black woman to further their goals during the feminist movement. Thus, why black women created the separate and not equal black womanist movement. Well, if it pleases the court of opinion, I want to read two short but vital articles that will not only show you what the white women think about black women behind your backs, and to get your mind completely right, the second article will not only back up the first article's finding, but because my God is so awesome, the exact same article will also show you how they plan to make history repeat itself. Saying that, according to the Washington Post, under "White Liberals Dumb Themselves Down When They Speak to Black People," a new study contends. November 30th, 2018. Perceptual context. Yep. So as you can plainly hear, this article was written just 6 months ago, and that can only mean we are about to hear how those, just like all scriptures attest, those who claim to champion the black cause yet get absolutely nothing communally done, well, we are about to see how they really feel when they feel comfortable to talk in real time. Quote, "You have recently joined a book club. Before each meeting, one of the literary collective sends an email to the club secretary offering a few thoughts on the assigned text. This month, it's your turn to compose a brief review. A new study suggests that the words you use may depend on whether the club secretary's name is Emily, a stereotypically white name, as the study says, or Lakeisha, a stereotypical black name. If you're a white liberal writing to Emily, you might use words like, personal quote, melancholy, or, quote, euphoric, to describe the mood of the book, whereas you might trade these terms out for the simpler, quote, sad, or, quote, happy, if you're corresponding with Lakeisha. But if you're a white conservative, your dictation won't depend on the presumed race of your interlocutor. Stop. Bingo. So as you can plainly hear, those who encourage you to get into a lifetime of debt still think you are not as smart as they are in their leisure. The reason you ponder? I perceive two immediate reasons right off the bat. The first is because the scriptures tells us so. I mean, the scriptures attest, not baptize a scribe attest, but the scriptures attest Your perfidious enemies, meaning the most dangerous enemy, are those you consider friends and helpful to your causes. And the second reason, in my humble opinion, can only be the acceptance of the hip hop culture. I keep saying this because it is the only gateway to evil that is embraced by both the highly educated perfidious enemies and the poor they have it out for. Thus, why I believe a get them all and let their God sort them out strategy, meaning neutralize all that exude unrepentant wickedness. I mean, the scripture does attest to them neutralizing us, thinking they are doing their God service, which can only mean this operation will be a religious / military theocracy type operation. Don't think for a second these studies won't be used against you in the future. But because I have gotten off the subject, and this is a misogyny-free zone, let's continue for more clues. Quote, this racial and political disparity is among the discoveries made by a pair of social psychologists in a paper forthcoming in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, a peer-reviewed scientific journal published by the American Psychological Association. Sidney Dupree, an assistant professor of organizational behavior at the Yale School of Management, and Susan Fiske, a professor of psychology and public affairs at Princeton, pretty impressive, documented what they call a, personal quote, competence downshift exhibited by white liberals in interactions with racial minorities and with black people in particular. The psychologists further discovered that white liberals rarely admit to the goal of appearing less competent, a fact that highlights the role of implicit bias and, personal quote, the convert nature of the competence downshift strategy. Example, bingo! Do I need to say more? I'm going to stop there because I want to show you the evidence to what we just said. According to BuzzFeed, CNN, etc., under Cecile Richards is starting a new political organization and linking back up with Planned Parenthood. April 28th, 2019. Perceptual context. Because of my reading skills, let me set the disrespecting scene up so I can skip the unnecessary dialogue. Comes to find out, and just like I warned you before, the chick is back, and America is about to hear her roar. In this case to mean 3 chicks, each with a particular set of skills, have joined forces to do the exact same thing Steve Bannon is doing for the Dominionists. You know, train up a nation of liberal nihilist gladiators to Hegelianize the nation just right. Well, to prove our understanding that history is repeating itself, listen to the job descriptions of each woman that was handpicked, which each woman was handpicked for. I'm going to cut to the chases. Quote, Richards is co-founding the group called Supermajority with Alicia Garza, a co-founder of Black Lives Matter, and Ajajin Pu, the director of the National Domestic Workers Alliance. The plan for Supermajority is to partner their organizations, among others, to teach 2 million women how to be political activists. The group will emphasize the intersection of issues affecting different racial and socioeconomic groups in the U.S., Richards and Pu told BuzzFeed News Saturday. In collaboration with its separate education division, Supermajority will train women on how to participate in politics and activism in their communities, both online and on the ground. Stop. Okay, so we can plainly hear This group has the exact same goals as Steve Bannon. Let's get more specific, shall we? Oh yeah, as you can see, this type of operation will take money, brains, and clout, and lots of it, to train, cultivate, and groom millions of women to be successful in this male-dominated patriarchal society. Meaning, all three co-founders must be the bee's knees in their fields. Right? Okay, let's continue, please. Wait, because I am over my reading limit, I'm going to skip the white and Asian women intellectual job descriptions and go directly to what type of magic they expect the black woman to bring to the table. Quote, Garza, who was unavailable to speak to BuzzFeed News Saturday, will bring the power, influence, and visibility of her organization's Black Lives Matter global network. Let me say that again. This is her job. Will bring the power, influence, and visibility of her organization's Black Lives Matter global network. The criminal justice reform advocacy organization born out of the massive protests against police brutality, and Black Future Labs, a political advocacy organization focused on mobilizing black voters. Example, bingo. So as you can plainly hear, the circle is complete. This time to mean, even though you are the most highly educated and got magic named after you, just like history dictates, the white women just want to use you once again, sisters. I hope this one slips through. I hope you can understand it, why I wanted to put this out again. This is very important, especially going into this, for lack of a better word, dispensation we're going into. Alright? Thank you for looking at this video. My God's will. Look for the next. Endure.